This OC16 sports presentation is brought to you by Pizza Hut and by Zippies.
Tonight on OC16, it's a classic matchup of two longtime rivals, Leilehua versus Waianae. The Seariders are in the rarefied air at the top of the OIA Red West by virtue of their deceptive triple option and that physical defensive play. Leilehua continues to be a formidable foe, featuring quarterback Andrew Manley at the helm, the elusive Edison Dumlau, versatile Rico Newman, and the Wahiawa Wrecking Crew on D. It's live prep football, and it's right now on OC16.
Coming to you live from Hugh Yoshida Stadium on the campus of Leilehua High School. It is homecoming night for the Mules right here on OC16 as they get set to play host to the Waianae Seariders in a battle of OIA Red West unbeatens. How you doing, everybody? Kanoa Leahy along with the coach, Larry Price. And no, coach didn't shrink. I didn't grow. We're just sitting in different chairs. You got the nice cozy one with the seat back. I got the stool. We work with what we work with. And, well, let's keep the show on the road. First off, let's take a look at the standings, coach. Two unbeatens going at it tonight. These are the two creams of the crop thus far.
Yes, they've had great seasons up until now, and they're both maturing very nicely, and they're becoming more sophisticated and demonstrating more social cohesion. It's going to be a great game.
You talk about Waianae. This is a team that started in non-league play 0-2, but once they hit division play, things have certainly turned around for them. 3-0 so far in the regular season, and look at how they're doing it statistically, leading the division in points scored and leading the division in points allowed.
Yeah, they're really tough. I tell you what, defensively, they pose quite a threat to anybody who plays them because of 7 people on their front 7, all seniors. So, I mean, you know, they're battle-hardened. These guys can play. And
one of the seniors on this roster is a guy who really can be described as the go-to man. In fact, Dan the Man is the moniker that we're giving him tonight. Danny Kekoa Nui, look at what he has been doing, just carrying the load literally, but also catching passes for this Sea Rider club.
He's a big, strong kid. He was really impressive last year, and he's finishing out his year really nicely.
Now on the other side for Leilehua, 5-0 overall, 3-0 in the OIA Red West division. And again, that win streak continues to collect more and more W's along the way. Now 11 straight victories going back to last season. There's a look at head coach Nolan Takuda in his 5th year atop the program. Of course, last year, OIA Red champ and state champ on the Division I level. And the way they have done it thus far is with that power offense. Once again, the quick strike ability. And you see last week against Pearl City just how much of an impact the Leilehua players had on it. I mean, literally the impact player, Chevis Abarilla Ramento, he was the player of the game. The play of the game was one of the great plays that we've seen so far in OIA play this year. The Manley to Rico Newman to Abarilla Ramento touchdown. And then you have obviously the Katuja, the game also went to Kaipokea of Leilehua. So this is a team that can do it in many different ways. And interestingly enough, Abarilla Ramento playing more or less in place of Edison Dumlau, who sat out that Pearl City game because of a concussion. And to get more of an update on that, let's send it down to Dave Vinton on the field. Dave.
Hey, thank you, Kanoa. Yes, for Leilehua fans, it's a big boost that they're getting Edison Dumlau back into the starting lineup this week. He had concussions and had to sit out last week, and it wasn't a given that he would be able to play for this game. He had to pass a battery of tests, and on Monday, first started with just running with his helmet. When he had no symptoms there, they proceeded to put the pads on, run some more, no symptoms there. Finally cleared, and he's been very much relieved because this is his senior year, and on homecoming night, he really, really wanted to play. But as you mentioned, his replacement, Abarilla Ramento, is also getting a start tonight, partly because of his great play last week against Pearl City. So again, Edison Dumlau fully cleared, fully loaded, and ready to go. Back to you.
Thanks a lot, Dave. That means Leilehua, the defending Division I state champ, will be fully loaded as a team coming in.
Yeah, what you're liable to see tonight is a blossoming of a team that's finally coming to their own. They're getting more confident every game. They're getting more cohesion every game. And every one of their people there, Rico Newman, they have the kicking, they have the punting, they have Ramento, and they have Dumlau. I mean, they got just about everything they got, except they don't throw to the fullback out of the backfield. That's about the only thing they do, and they don't have a tight end. But other than that, they're packed right across the front offensively. They are really a headache. And they could blossom tonight. They could score 40, 50 points tonight.
And Waianae, a team that's scoring a lot of points too, somewhat uncharacteristically, not known for overwhelming opponents offensively, but they've been doing just that so far this season in division play. Homecoming, a little bit different, the atmosphere, when you're the reigning Division I state champion, as is Leilehua. And this will be the first true test, really, in Division division play for both teams. We'll take a look at just how it plays out. Starting lineups, the kickoff, all the fun coming up right after this. It's OIA Red Division football right here on OC 16. Welcome back to Hugh Yoshida Stadium on the campus of Leilehua High School. Kanoa Leahy along with the coach Larry Price, just a few moments away from kickoff between the home team Leilehua Mules, the reigning Division I state champs on homecoming night, and the Waianae Seariders. Let's send it down to the field. Dave Vinton and Jen Boniza.
Thanks, Kanoa. I have Waianae's keys to the game. First key is keep the laundry off of the field. In last week's game against Nanakuli, the Seariders logged 18 penalties for 152 yards. They can't afford to make those types of mental errors and mistakes tonight against the Mules. Bottom line is they have to minimize their penalties. Second key is turn it over. This one very simple, straightforward. Coach Matsumoto wants his defense to create their own opportunities and force those turnovers. Those are Waianae's keys to the game. Let's send it over to Dave Vinton for Leilehua's.
Hey, thank you, Jen. Nolan Takuda said on defense, the key is going to be this, to be relentless on every single play all game long, because they know that Waianae is going to run at them, and run at them some more. Last week, Danny Kekoanui had 1 touchdown and 160 yards rushing, but also 9 others carried the ball for Waianae. So that's going to be very tough here at tonight as far as that ground attack from Waianae. The second key is stake your claim to the line. They want to win the offensive line battle. That's where he really feels it's going to be won for Leilehua. One thing to watch for in this game is the fact the middle of the field, the grass is completely gone. If the rain keeps coming down tonight and it turns muddy, it'll be really interesting to see those big guys battle down in the trenches. Those are the keys. Kanoa, back to you.
Thanks a lot, Dave. And per tradition, we're playing a football game at Leilehua, so bring on some of the moisture, some of the rains here in Wahiawa.
It would be perfect if it rained a little bit. Football was made to play with a little mud.
That's right. We don't want to hear any complaining, Dave and Jen.
No complaints here in this game. Because both sides are going to play in it, so.
Glad you could join us here on OC 16. This should be a good one. You have 2 unbeatens, and really a lot of people talking about this one as perhaps being the first true test against another top-notch opponent in the division for either side. There's the officiating crew, head referee, the always buff Brian Alos, and then right on down the line, what we want to do is shine our official spotlight on Ray Pachon. He is the line judge. 15 years with the OIA football group, as well as working as a basketball and volleyball official. Works at Tripler. Wife Grace is a timer and is actually in the booth for this game. They are parents of 4. Leilehua won the coin toss, elected to defer to the second half. So Waianae will get a crack at it first, but we have seen some funny business in these opening kickoff sequences. Back Leilehua against Pearl City. Quite a few times kicking it short and coming off of the foot of Micah Kunioka. It's always interesting.
I tell you what, this guy can kick the ball, boy. He got all kind of magic in that foot. We've said that before. He's a factor.
Excuse me, Coach. Danny Kekoanui and Gaisen Amina back to receive here for Waianae. This is an electric atmosphere here on homecoming night. Battle of 3-0 teams. Here is the kick. It'll be a bouncing kick. Look at the hop as it soars into the end zone for a touchback, and the Seariders will get started on their own 20. Take a look at the Waianae offensive starters. At quarterback, it will be Keone Naparala Rose. Running back, Jonathan Ligse, Marley Tao, and the aforementioned Danny Kekoanui. Manufe Kai is the tight end, and Bales is the receiver. Offensive line, Voa, Chong Tim, Namoa Makue, and Silva. So that offensive set of 11 comes to the line of scrimmage.
He's some big boys here, averaging about 253 pounds per man.
And looks like a busted play. Naparala Rose running for his life, but he'll be taken down by Brad Ialualo, big number 94.
11-yard loss. Ialualo is a good one, boy. Number 94 there, 5'10", 220-pound senior.
And not the way the Seariders wanted to open their first offensive possession. In fact, the exact opposite of what they wanted to see on the first play from scrimmage. 2nd and 22 now, as they are backed up to their own 8 following the sack by Ialualo. Now Now they will run it. It is Kekoa Nui. Expect him to get a lot of touches in this game. Take a look now at the Leilehua starters on D. Sami Taua, Osuega Coffin, and Ialualo on the defensive line. Tui Toilau, Hall, and Ellis, the linebacker core, and in the defensive secondary, Kama, Garma, Kea, and Dalam. Third and 19. Send a man in motion, do the Seariders. Got a long way to go here. It'll be a draw play. Here's Kekoa Nui finding the hole, and he gets pretty good yardage there. But it'll still be, well, it's going to be close to a first down, but it'll be just shy, and that will bring on the Waianae special teams.
9-yard gain there. Good blocking up front.
There's a look at Dan Matsumoto. He's the head coach for the Seariders in his 9th year atop the program. A graduate of Mid-Pacific in 1979. Kekoa Nui on to do the punting. And back to receive for Leilehua is Rico Newman. And this is a wobbler. Bounces at the 48. Takes a bit of a Waianae bounce. And it'll roll out of bounds at the 37. That's where the Mules, the reigning state champs, will get started. Take a look at Leilehua's offensive starters. Manley is the QB. Austin Schmidt getting the start at running back. Merely a sophomore. Matt Reyes, Newman, Abarilla Ramento, who had that great game last week against Pearl City, and Edison Dumlau back out there following the concussion. Cuesta, Ponce, Tua'au, Toro, and Smythe, the offensive lineman. So first look tonight at this explosive offense. They like to do it through the air, but they have running backs that can do some major damage as well. But they will throw on first down, and it will be a completion quickly over to the left hash. That one hauled in by number 6, Chevis Abarilla Ramento. All he did last week, Coach, was catch the ball 7 times for 167 yards and 2 touchdowns.
11-yard gain there. Very simple pass to complete there. Just a little quick in by the sprint receiver. With Dumlau and Ramento there, that's tough to cover.
Ball at the 49. Fresh set of downs here. Manley, short drop, quick throw. It's caught. Edison Dumlau, welcome back to game situation. Take a look at the Waianae starters on D. 2 listed defensive linemen, Talbert and Kili'ikipi. Frederick, Tuisano, Paris, and Patea, the 4 linebackers, and Amina, Awong, Kadirao, Diaz, and Smith in the defensive secondary. 2nd and 3 after the completion to Edison Dumlau. Boy, is Andrew Manley and the rest of the Leilehua Mules happy to have Dumlau back, 5'10", 200-pound senior. Manley the throw. With some defensive players in pursuit, completes it over to Dumlau, and as if he didn't miss any time at all, 2 quick completions out of the first 3 going the way of number 9.
When they warm up, they throw about 25 or 30 of those passes right there. The one that you see right here where he drops back, a 3-step drop, and just lets it rip right there. What they want is to get the defensive back right up there tight and not give them any cushion. Because you give them any cushion like that, a 1 yard, 2 yards, Manley will rip it right in there.
That was Dylan Kadirao on the coverage. He's a good one too. But that time the battle was won by Dumlau. This is going to be Ramento. Chevis Abarilla Ramento to the near side. And that might be enough for another first down.
This offense is really starting to click, boy.
Check that. That was Rico Newman coming over from the slot back spot. Another guy that's used in so many different ways.
You see his numbers, 28 rushes, 254 yards, 9 yards a carry with 3 touchdowns. Plus that, he punts and he can catch and he can pass. I mean, he is really the spark plug over there.
Threw a touchdown last week against Pearl City, remember, off of the toss behind the line of scrimmage by Andrew Manley, found Abarilla Ramento downfield for the long score. Here's Manley out of the gun. Fires over the middle, complete, no, incomplete. Hit the hands of Edison Dumlau, but he suffered a crunch over there. One of the guys in on the play was Dylan Kadirao. They were able to jar it loose. 3rd down coming up.
It's a good job by Cariao. Just got there the same time the ball got there and then knocked it out. Good camera work.
Charles Inferreira, number 26, the other defensive back in the area. They were able to upend Dumlao and force the incompletion. It is 3rd and 1. Now whistles as you take a look at Andrew Manley's season numbers in OIA play.
57 completions and 93 attempts, 633 yards and 6 touchdowns, 3 interceptions.
Prior to the snap, substitution infraction on the offense, 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
Costly.
Not a good time for that one. So that's going to back him up to 3rd and 6 after looking at a 3rd and 1. Now you mentioned Andrew Manley. Not only does he put up the numbers, but so far blemish-free, 10-0 as a starting quarterback for Leilehua going back to last year.
Well, we even saw him run last week. Took off on a 25-yard jaunt, so he's scrambling now.
Yeah, didn't look too bad either running up the middle of the field.
Not at all.
3rd and 6, I formation behind Manley. It's going to be a toss back to Newman. And Newman gets run over. Number 92, Wade Keli'ikipi, 6'3", 280-pound senior coming at him.
Loss of 2 yards. That's a cartouche right there by Keli'ikipi. Watch this. He just flows right down. That's how you're supposed to do it. You pop on the kids when you get that big. Just come down the line like that.
One of the rare occasions of Rico Newman getting stuffed in his tracks. So Newman now back to punt here on 4th down at this field position. Oftentimes you see Leilehua going for it, but they're in the punt formation, and Newman will in fact punt it. But it's a wobbler. I don't know if that was partially blocked.
No, he did that on purpose.
It takes a roll inside the 20. Interesting. Perhaps he did do that. They will have the ball, will the Seariders, at their own 18.
He's done that before, where he's kicked it short on purpose. 21-yard kick.
6:45 left to play in the first period. Each side has had an offensive crack at it. No score to speak of just yet. Now you have a choice of 2 McDonald's breakfast burritos. Select from the 2 sausage burrito or McSkillet burrito extra value meals with hash browns and a small cup of Royal Kona brand coffee at participating McDonald's.
There's that school spirit, personal pride. You know how much you got to love your school to make a sign like that?
Well, I tell you, the town is buzzing. Not only is it homecoming night, but this team is still unbeaten, going up against another undefeated team in league play. This is Naparala Rose keeping, running to the outside, and he's going to get a good gain.
That was a broken play, too. That wasn't a designed play. He missed a handoff over there and just improvised.
Naparala Rose, 5'11", 180-pound junior, described as shifty and elusive, and you saw some of his athleticism there on that sequence.
That was amazing. There was no dive man. He just took off all on his own.
Nate Hall had a chunk of that jersey from behind, and he'll be credited with at least part of that tackle. 1st and 10 as Waianae moves the sticks. You see the numbers there for number 11. This is going to be a handoff. That's Kekoa Nui once again on the carry.
This Nate Hall is definitely a Division I prospect. That 3-yard gain there. Nate Hall, 6'4", 230 pounds, along with Kalua Ellis, 5'11", 210 pounds inside. 2 great linebackers.
Kekoa Nui, I mean, you use the word workhorse a lot when you describe football, but this guy's the definition of it. 20 rushes, 160 yards, and a touchdown versus Nanakuli. That was the win last week for Waianae. 18 rushes, 103 yards, 3 TDs versus Pearl City a couple weeks back. And he's also the leader on the team in receptions. Here he is again. Steady dose of Danny Kekoa Nui being given to the Mules here early on in the first period.
5-yard gain that time by Kekoa Nui.
He's a senior. He's been around for a while. We've been talking about Danny Kekoa Nui when we have broadcast Waianae games for some time now. Third and 2 coming up here for the Seariders. going to be a pass. Deep over the middle, picked off. Hokukama, number 2, with the INT.
Ball slightly overthrown, and Kama was right there. He's playing deep center. Deep as the deep, wide as the wides.
You see a lot of traffic back there, just didn't get it deep enough. The intended receiver was number 24, Henry Correa Young. But Kama was in the perfect spot, great coverage. And this is a Waianae team that likes to run the ball first, throw second. In fact, maybe throw third. They'll run it twice before they decide to throw it.
Oh, it's not a bad pass.
That time it didn't work out for him. Leilehua taking over 1st and 10, ball at their own 44. Quick pass for Manly into the flats. Matt Reyes finding a seam, and he gets taken down after a gain of 5.
Hey, what do you know? They threw to a back out of the backfield. Too good, 6-yard gain.
That was the one thing we hadn't seen from them in a while.
It's actually a slot screen almost, but sure puts a lot of pressure on the defense when you do that.
2nd and long 4. Here for the Mules. Andrew Manley, 6'3", 215 pounds. He is now a junior. Goes by a lot of nicknames, but the one that seems to be catching on the most around these parts is Manchild. Second down out of the gun. It's going to be a fake handoff. And the pass behind the line of scrimmage to Rico Newman on the ground. Newman picked it up. They're going to wave this dead as an incomplete pass. Although it looked like the pass went backwards out of the hand of Andrew Manley. So they'll bring up 3rd and 4.
Fake draw. Good rush by the Waianae defense there. He couldn't get it off.
Good presence of mind by Rico Newman to be able to scoop that one up and not assume the incompletion. It actually worked out better for Waianae because Newman ended up picking it up and going for what would have been a 1st down. 4 for 6 so far tonight from Manly. 3 receivers to the far side. They're coming at him. And he fires to the near side, and we got another big hit. Austin Schmidt on the catch. He also caught a shot from Dylan Kadirau.
That was a cartouche. The loss of 2 yards again.
How about the closing speed of the 5'6", 140-pound senior Kadirau?
I can't tell you how tough that is to teach. To get the linebacker to take the first back out of the backfield. Great job.
Kadirau now one of the guys back to receive this punt. He returned a punt for a touchdown versus Pearl City. This one will hit the turf, though, and wobble around and roll around for a while. Finally downed. It's a great punt once again by Rico Newman. It'll be downed inside the 10.
43-yard punt, and he stops it inside the 10.
So Waianae's defense holding strong on a couple of occasions, and they were able to save and bail out the offense after the INT.
For more local sports, including past games, be sure to check out OC16 On Demand, located on Channel 15, as well as our sports library on OC16.tv. And the price is just right. They're both free.
Well, Coach, what's the first thing you usually think of when you talk about Waianae Searider football? I think most people would say that defense, and it has held strong even following the INT thrown by Naparella Rose. Now it is Danny Kekoanui on 1st down as Waianae takes over inside its own 10, and he gets out for about 4 yards. Take a look at how these teams have started so far field position-wise.
Leilehua on their own 40, Waianae on their own 15.
Under 3 minutes to go here in the first period. Good look at Dan Matsumoto there. Offensive coordinator for Waianae is Brian Ginoza. Defensive coordinator is Jason Hussey. 2nd down. It'll be Jonathan Ligsay keeping it on the turf. But he gets upended for what will be a short loss on the play. Ligsay is a 5'9", 205-pound senior. This is a Waianae team team that made it to the OIA Red Division Championship last year, as you look at Lixey's OIA season numbers.
5.8 average every carry, 2 touchdowns. That's not bad at all.
It'll be another passing play. The throw is in and out of the hands of number 83, Rodney Hendrickson, and he was behind the D, coach. Had he been able to hold that one in, nothing but green field in front of him.
It was wide open, boy. Nice throw by Rose.
Bit of a wobbler, but it hit the target right on. So Waianae punting now on 4th down. Charles Inferrera doing the punting duties. Rico Newman takes it off with a bounce. Coming to the near side. Big block in front of Newman. Up the sideline, and Newman will go. Nobody's going to catch him. Touchdown, Leilehua. First to strike on homecoming night.
55-yard kick punt return. He's a dangerous one here. You see one guy has a hold of him, another one misses him there. Good block there. And he just takes off. I mean, he's running to daylight every time.
That Leilehua special teams had that sideline locked down for Rico Newman. They cleared the path right down the edge. Micah Kunioka on for the extra point attempt.
Most of these games, high-pressure games, are won by mistakes in the kicking game by one side or the other.
These are the 2 teams that met in the OIA Red Final last year. Leilehua winning that one 12-3. They strike first here in the rematch. In the 08 regular season, this battle of unbeatens, it is 7-0 Mules after the punt return by Rico Newman. He loves the television cameras, doesn't he? Let's send it down to Jen Boniza. Jen.
Thanks, Kanoa. I have Waianae's KITV team player, and that is number 20, Donovan Tuisana. Donovan maintains a 4.0 GPA and wants to attend Puget Sound University and major in civil engineering. Donovan has played for the team for 4 years. He's a reliable student athlete. He's a true team player and would sacrifice anything for his teammates. Donovan would like to thank his parents for all the support they've given him. The KITV team player for Waianae, Donovan Tuisana. Now let's send it over to Dave Vinton for Leilehua's.
Thank you very much. Alex Ruiz is Leilehua's KITV4 team player. He's a quiet, self-motivated student athlete. He's a starter on the special teams and always comes to what they call inspiration. This is formerly known as practice. He has a great attitude, a genuine smile, and care for his teammates. Makes him a prime team player. His coaches look forward to coming to inspiration every day because of student athletes like Alex Ruiz, your KITV4 team player. Kanoa.
Thanks a lot, Dave. Leilehua to kick it away. It'll be Kunioka putting foot to football back to receive Kekoa Nui and Gaisen Amina. And it'll be another ground ball effort. Finally squirting its way over to Amina. Bounces off one would-be tackler. Finally rolled up and upended at the 17. Rico Newman celebrating. And this was Rico Newman just a few moments ago, going 55 yards. The kind of scoring drive you love to see if you're a coach of the team that scores. Didn't even need to put the offensive unit out there. Rico Newman took care of it along with the blockers on special teams.
Well, it's great when your special teams can make some points for you.
So 1st and 10, Seariders looking to respond here. This is Kekoa Nui trying to find a hole, and he'll push it forward for a gain of about 2.
That's a tough Leilehua front 7, boy. Not easy to run against these guys with Nate Hall and Kalua Ellis right up there in the center.
We have some other football going on around the island. Let's take a look at some of the other scores.
Bradford leading by 1 at halftime over Nui Nui, 7-6.
We'll also be looking to get updates throughout the evening from some of the ILH games going on, particularly Kamehameha and Punahou going down tonight at Aloha Stadium. 2nd and 7. Naparala Rose in trouble, fumbles the football. And the Seariders hang on to it. Number 61 for Waianae with the recovery. That's Kekoa Afong, 6'1", 230-pound senior. Saved a turnover there.
Loss of 17 there.
That was Ali'i Tui Toilau with the hit, Coach.
I'd say he's a good linebacker, boy. 5'10", 180-pound senior. He's rugged. Right across the front, Leilehua is just deadly.
That was one of the concerns talking with Coach Matsumoto. This is obviously a Waianae team which looks to run initially as the final seconds tick off of the first quarter clock. And I asked him, I said, how confident are you that you'll be able to run the football against Leilehua? He says, hey, look, we have to run the football against Leilehua. There's no choice.
He's right about that.
We're going to take a timeout. 7-0 Leilehua, the homecoming home crowd, all jacked up here at Hugh Yoshida Stadium. Rico Newman, thanks to some great blocking, putting the Mules up. Providing the full degree and mobile service for your vehicle. Check out the sports page at OC16.tv for a special offer from 360 Auto Detailing, and call Jason at 223-0501 for your appointment today. 3rd down and 24. Naparala Rose, he's going to tuck and run. Got a long way to go to get a first down. But he makes it a quality effort. Let's see where they spot this thing.
Take a look at the stats here. Leilehua leads in first downs. They lead in passing. Total yards, very even. Penalties, they have only one turnover, and that was with Waianae. Time of possession about the same. Waianae got 2 Katusas, but they're down 7-zip
'Considering
on that kick.
And considering where they were before that 3rd down play, actually in pretty decent position, back out to the 26-yard line, 4th and 1.5 coming up.
Good Katus right there. And then the touchdown. Some good blocking. You see people flying around there.
Waianae lining up as if they're going for it on 4th down. And then with the shift, looked like they were going to try to draw Leilehua offside. Good discipline shown by the Mules on that sequence. And Waianae now signaling for a timeout. First timeout taken in this game. 11:50 left to play in the 2nd period. They had a notion to see if they could get a free first down out of an encroachment penalty of some sort, but Nolan Takuta's guys staying in position. At halftime, game plan, student athlete and junior football academy. Take a look at what they're doing over there within the game plan program.
See how intent that Waianae student body is. They're just ready to erupt, to give them a reason.
And the Seariders bringing out the punt team. Another score from elsewhere.
Mililani 14-6 over Nanakuli in the 2nd.
And here is the punt by Waianae. Back to receive is Kama, but he lost it. Muffed the reception, recovered by Leilehua, so they dodge a bullet. Waianae did that a couple of times. Leilehua able to dodge the bullet thanks to Kaipo Kea. Kaipo on the spot after that muffed reception on the punt.
39-yard punt. Boy, that was close.
Waianae fans thinking that was the break we could have used.
Oh, you're going to have more breaks on the kicking game here. It's not over.
Oh, it's a long night ahead of us here. 11:42 left to play in the first half.
Beautiful night, though.
Yes, it has cleared up nicely after a little early rain. Manley out of the gun, trips to the far side for the Mules. High snap, he handles it well, delivers a strike to Matt Reyes. Reyes still on his feet, finally gang tackled. Brought down just shy of the 40-yard line.
There's that pass to the fullback I was talking about that you don't see him throw much. That's 2 already in this game. But the reason that's important is because you have a physical mismatch between a linebacker and you see number 44 there chasing a fullback.
Chip is Paris, 5'11", 195-pound junior. That's number 44 for Waianae. 2nd and 1 here for the Mules. They'll again send Reyes in motion. Lining up 3 receivers over here to the near sideline. Long snap count. High snap again, handled nicely by the 6'3" Manley. Delivers a strike to Abarilla Ramento. And he goes up the sideline, close to midfield. That'll be enough for a first down.
Like we've said in many games that Leilehua has played, if you give them enough cushion like that, Manley will throw those 8, 9, 10-yard gains every time. Take a look at it. He goes 1, 2, 3, and plants and throws.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one way teams have talked about trying to slow this Leilehua offense down is pressure Andrew Manley. But
yeah, well, the thing is how to get there.
That's the thing. This offensive line has done such a tremendous job in protecting their junior quarterback.
Ponce, Torrey, Smite, Tao, all good offensive blockers.
Manley goes to the other side this time. He's just going hash to hash, sideline to sideline. This is Reyes hanging on to the football. Brought down from behind inside the 35. They're just going left side to right side, left side to right side.
Just a short pass is just a 2-step drop and throw. There's no time to rush the quarterback.
Tackle made by Donovan Tuisano, number 20. Three catches already for Reyes. He'll be the man in motion again. They go 2 receivers to each side. Manley, short drop, fires on the slant pattern. Dumlao, sure-handed on that occasion, and he's very close to another Leilehua first down. They are moving that football on this drive.
Well, it's great confidence between the receivers and the quarterback here. You can see the cohesion that we were talking about in the opening. You know, you don't see this on a lot of teams. You know, just 1, 2, 3 drop, puts it right there on the money, 6 yards, cheap 6 yards.
Dumlao had 3 receptions, 50 yards, and a touchdown versus Kapolei. That was in a 21-7 win for Leilehua. That was the game that he suffered the concussion in, forcing him to sit out against Pearl City. Here's Rico Newman. Had to wait for a block. Got it. Got inside the red zone. Finally, the tackle made by number 21, Terrell Ka'aha'aina.
This is a quick 6 yards. Newman, this is a throw short, run long time. I mean, this is when he's dangerous. If he gets out there on the sideline, boy, he's gone. Ten completions in 12 attempts. Say no more. 74 yards.
This is a guy who threw the ball 48 times versus Radford in the season opener for Leilehua. Yeah, he can air it out. This is a handoff. Rico Newman able to change his path of travel over here to the near side. Gets another good gain, close to a first down. Might be enough, in fact. See where they spot this thing.
Very shifty runner.
You see him covering up that football before taking the hit. Enough for a first down, so a fresh set of downs here. Ball at the 12-yard line for Leilehua. They go I formation behind Manley, who is now under center. And it'll be a handoff. Newman running to the far side. Can he get to the edge? Tries to cut it back upfield and then gets dragged down. Short gain on the play, maybe 2.
He's a threat to go all the way into the end zone every time he gets the ball.
Wade Keli'ikipi, the younger bro of former University of Hawaii running back West Keli'ikipi, who is helping out on the coaching staff voluntarily.
This kid is a good one. Wade Keli'ikipi, 6'3", 280, and he's not an ounce of fat on him either. I mean, he's all he-man.
He is a prospect, to say the least. C.J. Bailey is the tailback now in this formation for Leilehua. And it'll be a pass to the end zone. Trying to thread the needle to Dumlao was Manley, and he got 2 hands on it, did Edison Dumlao, unable to hang on to it, but a flag coming out on the play.
So that's just a little 2-step drop. You watch them warming up. They practice that 30, 40 times they throw that pass.
Pass interference on the defense. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
Well, that helps the Leilehua cause quite a bit there, but you know, you talk about that play and practicing that timing. You see some of the contact on the route there, Dumlao and Kadi Rao, but obviously, first thing you think of when you think of Manley and Dumlao is that connection they made to defeat St. Louis in the state championship game late in the fourth quarter last year.
7 plays, 58 yards, 4 minutes, 10 seconds. Boy, they're driving that ball.
This has been efficient. Ball on the 5, first and goal. Handoff given to Bailey, and he gets driven backwards. Nothing doing there up the middle that time against this Sea Rider front.
Chevis Paris right there, 5'11", 185-pound junior.
Bailey is 5'7", 150 pounds. He's a junior running back. Just ran into too much beef in the middle there, draped in white. So second and goal from the 5 here for Leilehua. Already up 7-0 in this battle of 3-0 teams in the OIA Red West Division. Rico Newman now in at tailback for the Mules. Andrew Manley looking to the sideline for instruction. And now a flag coming out. Let's see what it is here.
Prior to the snap, delay of game on the offense, 5-yard penalty. It remains second down.
A little too long there to make that read on the line of scrimmage. So a timeout taken by Leilehua. 6:03 left to play in the half. The penalty moves them back to the 10. It'll be second and goal from there. But the Mules on the doorstep, trying to see if they can punch through the door once again. Next week, we got all kinds of stuff coming your way. 3 events. Hawaii Winter Baseball Sunday, Thursday, volleyball, Marino versus Iolani, Word of Life versus Kamehameha, and then Farrington at Kahuku in another big-time Red Division battle, this time in the East.
The beast from the East.
Second and goal here for Leilehua from the 10. Rico Newman in at tailback. This is always Newman territory, close to the goal line, but it will be a passing play. And Manley with all kinds of time. Here is Newman trying to get to that goal line, dives for it. Does he get to the pylon? The officials are going to say no. He is just shy. Third and goal coming up for Leilehua.
9-yard gain.
Well, they called Newman's number. They just didn't give it to him right away.
Good receiver, boy. Sure hands.
Tackle made by Chevis Paris, saving a touchdown, at least for the moment.
Yeah, a little dead leg move that he got where he just kind of drags one leg and changes speed and bounces to the outside.
Well, this would be quite a statement here for Leilehua if they can punch this one in, go up 2 scores here in the first half. 5:52 left to play. Handoff. Newman bounces and cruises across the plane.
Big blocking up front, boy. There was all kind of room. Look at that school spirit, personal pride.
And Rico Newman finds pay dirt, coach, for the second time in this half.
What's the blocking on the line there? Look how they just collapsed that line down there. No defenders in sight.
Micah Kunioka on for the extra point. This would put Leilehua up 14-0. And it is good. So the Mules showing that toughness. Getting one on special teams. Rico Newman, 55 yards. That one was from much closer of a distance. But Newman again off of the running play, capping what was a demonstrative drive by this Mules offense.
Yeah, it was a monster drive. I agree with you. Fat Boys Drive-In is proud to support high school athletics. Stop by for your local favorite plate lunches, now at 2 locations, Kailua and Waipio, next to Costco. The signs came out. We love OC16. You bring that sign to the game and you're almost guaranteed a shot on television. A lot of school spirit at Leilehua. It's a beautiful school. Field's looking in good shape too. Yeah.
holding up pretty well here. It's just a different environment now. I mean, when you're a state champ and your fan base is coming off of the year that Leilehua had, I mean, the pride is that much more apparent.
This is one of the things that they can do to improve their team, is to get a fashion expert, because they don't have all the same kind of socks or shoes like Waianae does. You notice?
Kunioko with the ground ball kick taken by one of the Waianae upmen. And this is going to be a pretty solid return. Rodney Hendrickson, who remember had what could have been a touchdown pass fall through his hands earlier in this half, able to give the Seariders very solid field position to get started on this possession. Take a look at this last scoring drive, Coach. This was unbelievable, capped by the Rico Newman 1-yard run.
Well, great blocking up front. I mean, Papa Jack could have ran that one in.
13 plays covering 70 yards, took over 6 minutes.
Great, and with all those little short 5, 6, 7-yard passes and a couple runs.
First and 10 for the Seariders. The give is to Ligse. Jonathan Ligse, who had 8 rushes for 43 yards and 2 touchdowns. One of his standout games, performances against Pearl City a couple weeks back.
Kalua Ellis and Nate Hall right up there in the middle. Again, you see, Kalua Ellis is just in on about every tackle here. Anything on the inside between the tackles, he's going to be there. Good prospect. Only a junior, too.
This is Ligse again. Ligse breaking free. All the way to the 20 before he's finally dumped down to the grass.
Waianae getting hot. 30-yard gain. That's what it takes. You need somebody to get hot.
And that was Waianae establishing some physical authority there, going right up the gut.
Good blocking.
Mike Dalum, number 81, finally making the stop on that one. First and 10, just inside the red zone here for Waianae. Handoff up the middle again. Hey, guess who? It's Ligse. This time he'll get a gain of 1, maybe 2, but that's all. The Leilehua defense packing that middle area. One of those situations of Waianae saying, well, let's just keep running it up the middle until they stop us.
Give what they take and take what they give.
There you see the time situation, just over 4 minutes remaining here in the first half. 14-0, Leilehua. This is Kekoa Nui. Trying to run behind his lead blocker. Kalua Ellis will make the tackle. More scores to speak of, Coach. Let's take a look.
McKinley is losing to Castle 10-0 in the first quarter. And Nanakuli is down 8 points to Mililani, who's leading 14-6 at half. And Kamehameha 6 to Punahou 0 in the first quarter. Punahou struggling a little bit.
Yeah, that's a big game, as the winner pretty much stays in contention for the ILH title on the Division I level. The pass by Naparala Rose falls incomplete.
Something wrong with that pattern. They had 2 receivers right there where the ball was.
And that was 3rd down, Coach, so that brings up 4th and 6 here for the Seariders. What to do? It's decision time.
Kaipokea almost picked that off. So you got 2 receivers right there, number 20 and number 10, 24.
As you mentioned, good bat down by Kaipokea. The intended receiver was Henry Correa Young, number 24 for Waianae. And they're going for it here on 4th and 6. Naparala Rose running to his left. He's going to try to run for the first down. He'll get it. And it'll be 1st and goal Waianae.
Boy, that was a head-up play by Rose. 5'11", 180-pound junior. Boy, he did that all by himself. Just almost got caught.
Naparala Rose coming up from the JV from last year where he played quarterback.
He just ran away from his blockers, too.
This is what head coach Dan Matsumoto says is his greatest characteristic. His number 11's ability to tuck and run, ad-lib, improvise when needed. First and goal. This is Keikoa Nui, close to that goal line. He'll be stopped just shy. They're on the welcome mat now. Second and goal coming up for the Sea Riders.
If they can punch this in, it's going to be a wild second half.
Oh boy, and what a response if they can finish the deal here following that 70-yard drive on 13 plays for Leilehua.
This coach Matsumoto does a real great job down there in the Waianae community, like other great Waianae coaches before.
Keeping that tradition going. Second and goal. And this will be a dive play. This will be a touchdown for Waianae. Jonathan Ligsay doing the honors. And there you see some of the fans across the way from our press box. The Waianae following. Happy to see the Sea Riders get on the board.
Poor Chumtim, Silva, Makui, and Namoa, all good job blocking up front.
Don't go anywhere just yet. 14-0 Leilehua. Waianae saying, let's do what we do. Right down the field, right down the middle. On many an occasion, they have a chance to cut this lead in half. Gaisen Amina to try to do just that, the extra point right down the middle. And it is 14-7 in favor of the home team Mules. 2:29 left to play in the first. We're going to take a break. We got ourselves a good one, as we thought it would be. Two unbeatens in the OIA Red West, separated by a single touchdown. Provider of OC16 sports for all your special achievements. Call Mike's Engraving and Trophies at 4865220, located behind Cutter Ford, Aiea. So Waianae responds. And what a response it was, going 57 yards. Finished off by Jonathan Ligsay's 1-yard plunge. 3 back to receive for Leilehua, but the ball will not get there. It'll be downed by one of the up men, falling on top of it inside the 30. 2:27 left to play in the first half. Take a look at that scoring drive, Coach.
You have to watch out for Waianae because they're a very emotional team. They get a little momentum, they get up. 7 plays, 57 yards, 3 minutes, 16 seconds. A 1-yard touchdown run by Jonathan Ligsay.
This is the touchdown run, but you saw that previous play, Keone Naparalo Rose on 4th down, able to scramble for the first down. That was the key play that kept, obviously, that drive alive and led to that opening score here for the Sea Riders. Well, Leilehua takes the field with a lot of time left.
Football is an emotional game. You know, if you get up, anything can happen.
Trips to the near side. Manley, as they tried to set up the screen, that one gets batted down. Good-looking defensive play there by number 49, Troy Faliunga. 6'1", 260-pound senior lineman.
A good-looking linebacker, Talifunga. High ball. That's what they call it.
He got 2 hands on that one.
That's how you're supposed to do it. One hand won't do. Kamehameha now, Puno leading 7-6 in the second. Castle 26-0 over McKinley in the second. Castle romping.
See if the Mules can do something here in the final 2:22. They're going to try to run the inside receiver screen to Matt Reyes, and that will not go for much. DJ Awong, number 12, and a whole bunch of his boys coming up to make a stop on that play.
Loss of 5. You can see Waianae getting jacked here.
Yeah, the emotional level on the Waianae sideline has definitely raised a bit. They're coming at Andrew Manley. A little how do you do love tap at the end of the play by Elijah Talbert. So 3rd and 15 now for the Mules. You look at the timeout situation, 2 remaining for Leilehua, 2 remaining for Waianae. They're able to force a 4th down here. They've put themselves in position to maybe do something before the intermission.
1 of 2 on 1 of 2 attempts successful on 3rd down.
Game. On the offense, 5-yard penalty. It remains third down.
Third down. A delay of game, so the clock stopping at 1:31. You're right, though. The twists and turns in a single football game. I mean,
well, you can feel it. You don't have to be, you know, you probably can feel it on television. You just look at the crowd and you can feel the energy, the momentum. Waianae all of a sudden has got emotional about playing.
Second delay of game penalty for Leilehua. 3rd and 20 now. It'll be a handoff. This is Bailey. Bailey with some good yardage. And Bailey pushed out of bounds. We'll see where they spot this. This is awfully close to a first down.
Take a look at it. This is kind of like a shotgun option where the defensive end goes out and he gives it to the running back.
That was a really solid play call there by Leilehua. Considering the down and distance, and they're going to measure this, coach.
Would be in Waianae's best interest to go in with the score, 14-7. It's a game of inches.
This is a big measurement here. It will be enough for a first down. So on 3rd and long, Leilehua keeping it on the ground and getting the first. And that was big. Because now you look at it, and Leilehua now close to midfield. They have 2 timeouts remaining as well.
Bailey now 2 rushes for 22 yards. Did a good job substituting, giving Rico Newman a little break.
1st and 10, ball at the 39. It's another handoff, and once again it's Bailey, and this time he'll be chopped down after a short game. Timeout taken by Leilehua. The tackle made by Chivis Paris. 53.5 remaining here on the first half clock.
Paris, good job of tackling in this first half.
Leilehua, we mentioned 11 wins going back to last year. I mean, losing becomes a habit, winning becomes a habit, and right now the best of habits for Leilehua as they just continue to rack up W's.
That was like we said in the opening, you're probably watching a team right now that's solidifying all of its assets and all of its abilities and everything with its players. They're all coming together as one, especially with Romento coming up and joining Dumlao. Now you got 2 quality receivers out there who can catch the ball.
And this is becoming an interesting rivalry in and of itself between the head coaches, Nolan Tokuda versus Dan Matsumoto. And you see, over the course of the last few years, Leilehua has had the heavy advantage, at least in terms of number of wins, but they've all been pretty competitive and close ball games. So, I mean, that's the thing. In the OIA finals last year, a 12-3 score, which went to give Leilehua the OIA championship, but also gave them that added boost going into the state tournament. The Waianae Searider team that went 9-4 overall last year, 4-2 in the division. They ended up losing in the state semifinal to end their season. Leilehua went on to win the whole shebang. Manly on the pass, and that is dropped by Rico Newman.
You won't see that often.
So that brings up 3rd and 8, or 7, as we'll call it. 48.7 remaining. 1 timeout left for the Mules, 2 still on the board for the Seariders.
2 of 3 on 3rd down.
You look at Andrew Manley, we mentioned 11 straight wins for this team, 10 straight since Andrew Manley has taken over as the starting QB. 3rd and 7. Manley throwing deep, incomplete. Chevis Abarilla Romento, the guy back there being closely covered by John Smith. Romento looking towards the official at the end of that play. He wanted something thrown. Thought it was a penalty, but nothing doing. 4th and 7. Rico Newman on to punt. 42 seconds remaining.
You gotta watch him here because he won't always kick.
And that one hits the turf at the 31. And it will roll towards the far sideline. It'll be down to about the 35 is where they'll place this one for the Seariders.
Excuse me.
We'll send it down to Dave Vinton. Dave.
Injury update for Leilehua on the touchdown play that Waianae scored. Number 94, Brady Alualo. He sprained his left ankle. He was being iced up toward the end of the quarter here, and he's already heading out to the locker room to get some more treatment, be evaluated at halftime to see if he can go in the second half. Back to you.
Well, he's a playmaker on that Leilehua defensive line. That's the understatement of the century right there. 32 seconds left. And Waianae coming out in the shotgun formation. Naparala Rose throws over the middle. Caught by number 3 for the Seariders. No, they'll call this incomplete. That was Kaylin Sandoval. Wasn't able to hang on that pass play.
Second quarter, Puno 14-6 over Kamehameha now in the second quarter. Puno coming alive, it appears.
And now Waianae going into pass mode in the final 26 plus of this half. Naparala Rose can't throw the ball. His completion numbers have not always been the best, as that one falls incomplete. Kekoa Nui, the intended receiver, Kaipokea covering on the play. Naparala Rose was 2 for 11 for 11 yards versus Nanakuli. But he also had a game against Kapolei, a win for Waianae 34-0, where he went 9 for 15 for 141 yards. He also ran for a score.
He's 0 for 5 with 1 interception. They could get themselves in trouble here. If they don't make a first down and they have to kick, then they have the possibility of another kick return.
He has had a drop or two that has obviously hurt his number cause. 3rd and 10. Being chased, Naparala Rose lets it go. It's complete to Ligse. And he'll be dragged down at the 41. And a timeout left for Waianae, 2 left for Leilehua. They will leave them on the board as the final ticks come off the clock here before intermission. That will be the final play.
God, what great Kramer work, huh?
And as we thought, Coach, we have ourselves a ball game.
Tough game, tough game.
Waianae able to respond with that 7-play, 57-yard drive. That followed Leilehua's 13-play, 70-yard drive, which took over 6 minutes. And twice it has been Rico Newman for the Mules finding pay dirt, once on a 55-yard punt return. That opened the scoring, and then ending that long drive with the 1-yard TD plunge. It has been physical. Waianae's defense living up to its usual billing. And one of those games where you go into the halftime thinking, well, anything can happen in this second half, can't it?
Exactly.
On homecoming night here at Hugh Yoshida Stadium for the home team, Leilehua Mules. We will send it down to Dave Vinton as he is gathering.
Hey, Coach,
head
thanks
coach
for your time.
Nolan
You had a
Takuda.
little meeting before even heading into halftime there. You're just talking about the offensive, defensive units to start to think about things?
Well, the first thing is Waianae is going to go in our locker room, so we don't want to cross paths with them. So we allow the visiting team to go there first. And then just our guys, hey, you know what? It's going to be a dogfight. You know, what else are you going to expect? Waianae is going to come out from the first snap to the end. So we just got to make sure that we continue to do that and focus in the second half.
Well, you talked about being relentless, and I guess that's part of it. It seemed like you had them on the ropes a bit in the first half. You're up 2 scores, and then Waianae goes on a long drive.
Yeah, you know, like I said, they're a good team. They're well coached. They're going to make their adjustments, and hopefully, you know, we're going to go in the locker room right now and make better adjustments than them and come out, you know, I guess with a win in the second half.
What would be your biggest adjustment?
Biggest adjustment is making sure that everybody keeps focus. I think there's a lot of times that guys are doing their own things out here for some reason. I don't know if it's homecoming or they're nervous or again, you're playing a good team. So if they can just stay within our system, then we'll be fine.
Thanks for your time, Coach.
Thank
Good
you.
luck in the
Thank
second
you.
half. Kanoa, back to you.
Thanks a lot, Dave. Homecoming night, the cheerleaders, the band coming out onto the field, getting ready to put on a homecoming celebration of note here at halftime. We have a game of note here between 2 unbeatens in the OIA Red West Division. Leilehua up 14-7 over Waianae. We'll see you in the second half.
right, welcome back. You're watching Game Plan, where life lessons are taught through football and how to prepare for the next level of play or just getting on with life. Well, recently, OC16 got a call to get some help with Chili's. You see, September is Cancer Awareness Month across the nation, and Chili's Restaurants has a campaign nationwide, including the restaurants here in Hawaii. So, along with a few people from high school football that you might recognize, we went down to the Milline Chili's last night, and right there you see Andrew Manley came straight from practice. Jen Boniza came straight from work. I came from, well, sort of working, and what we did was they have a Create a Pepper contest going right now where you draw a pepper and then you give a donation, and all the money goes to the St. Jude's Research Hospital. Now, getting involved there, you see that was Andrew Manley shaking the hand of Mililani coach Darnell Arsenault. And then Andrew was really working as far as having to bring out the food and everything else. Jen Boniza was back there working. I was getting the people to their tables and everything. But it was a way for OC16 and the community of the student athletes to really get involved and to give back to a cause outside. Of course, beating cancer would be #1 in anybody's book. But there you see Andrew giving out some food, and there's me trying to get some more donations for St. Jude Hospital. But all in all, it was a great night. Jen Boniza passing out some food. And one of the interesting shots was when Andrew had to serve his head coach, Nolan Takuda. Now, one person we didn't see as far as the picture was Milnine's Taz Stevenson. He was part of the crew that was giving out the food and being there involved as well, but we got his still picture. But our video guy had left just before he got there and did it. But it was from 6 to 8 last night, and it was all part of Chili's nationwide as they tried to raise $50 million in 10 years. They were in year 6 of the program, and they got about $24 million. So Andrew Manley, Taz Stevenson of Mililani High School and Leilehua, respectively, doing their part to give back to the community. Kanoa, up to you.
Thanks a lot, Dave. Sitting up here alongside the coach, Larry Price, and I don't know, was it me or did the patrons at Chili's Mililani seem a little bit more excited when it was Andrew Manley or Taz Stevenson bringing their food out to the table than when it was Dave or Jen?
I think just generally they were in a good mood. I don't think it was a popularity contest. So.
All right, let's take a look at the highlights.
I'd rather get served by a linebacker myself.
I knew you would. Let's take a look at the highlights from the first half. Leilehua getting stuffed a couple of times. We had a couple of early contusions, right, Coach?
Oh, some great hits.
Wade Keli'ikipi with one, Dylan Karirau with the other. The first score came off of Rico Newman's 55-yard punt return for a touchdown right down the sideline after some great blocking. Leilehua then got the ball back. A methodical drive, 13 plays covering 70 yards, lasting over 6 minutes, and capped off by the Rico Newman 1-yard touchdown run. So he hit pay dirt twice. 14-0 Leilehua at that point. Keone Naparalo Rose on 4th and 6, able to get the first down, running to the far side. A little ad-libbing perhaps on his part. That led to the 1-yard touchdown run by Jonathan Ligsay. And here we are now at halftime, 14-7, separated by 1 touchdown. These two unbeaten teams in the OIA Red West Division.
Yeah. Leilehua appeared to cool off in the second quarter. And, you know, Waianae came alive. They got something to scream about and yell about, and got a real good game here. This could go either way.
That's right. That's right. Leilehua will be getting the ball first to start the second half. Why don't we take a look at the first half statistics?
Yeah, well, the problem here is that Waianae cannot throw the ball. They got 87 yards rushing, only 6 yards passing, where Leilehua has 39 rushing, 76 passing, 115 to 93. Penalties, 3 penalties for Leilehua, 1 turnover for Waianae. That kind of balances that out. Time of possession about the same. Waianae, you saw a couple of great contusions. There's been some hitting out there.
The homecoming celebration continues here at Hugh Yoshida Stadium, just wrapping up, in fact, so we are going to take another break before we get things started in the second half of this one. It's going to be a good one. Do not go anywhere. 14-7 Mules taking on the Seariders. Welcome back. Leilehua over Waianae at halftime, just a few moments away from the start of the third quarter. Let's send it down to Jen Boniza. Jen.
Thanks, Kanoa. I'm here with Coach Matsumoto. Coach, during the half, what did you tell your guys?
Just keep the intensity up, you know, have faith, have confidence in what we're doing. You know, we still need to execute what we need to do, but, you know, we just need to keep working hard at this.
What adjustments are you going to be making?
Gosh. Our coverage needs to get a little bit quicker. We need to get in coverage a little bit quicker on defense. And, you know, on offense, I guess we just need to keep pounding the ball. I mean, we're down by 7. You know, it's a close game for now. Hopefully it stays that way. and just ball control on offense.
Okay, thank you very much, Coach. I'll let you get to you guys. Good luck in the second half. Back to you, Kanoa.
Thanks a lot, Jen. Still up here with the coach, Larry Price, but I got to send it back down to Dave now for an update on the keys. Dave.
Hey, thank you very much. Again, the keys for Leilehua is to be relentless, really have a lot of energy on defense. Every play, every player is what Nolan Takuda was looking for. If anything, he talked about going into halftime, really having that focus where he felt they lost it here and there. Let's see if they can really get that relentless spirit and mode of attack on defense. On offense, it was really stake your claim to the offensive line. He feels that's really where the game is going to be won, in the trenches, and that could very well be as they get into a grind-out affair here in the second half. Those are the keys of the game. Now, Kanoa, just so you know, I made a lot of tips last night at Chili's, and I donated them all to the St. Jude Research Hospital, but, you know, I did all right, okay? Jen, over to you.
I didn't make any tips last night, but I had fun being there. It was a lot of fun to do that. Okay, keys update for Waianae. Number one was keep laundry off the field. Waianae right now is 1 for 10. Not doing so bad in the penalties category. They got to continue to keep it clean in this second half. And second key was turn it over. So far, Seariders have not forced any turnovers. They definitely want to work on that and try to create more opportunities this second half. Those are your keys. Let's send it back up to Kanoa and Coach.
I'm sure you guys did just fine last night. No need to be overly sensitive about it. I'm sure you guys did just fine. Thanks a lot, Dave. Thanks a lot, Jen. We're a few moments away from the start of the third quarter here. You heard a little bit about the adjustments when Dan Matsumoto of Waianae was asked about it by Jen Boniza. What do you think as far as adjustments that need to be made in this second half on either side?
Well, he just got so excited there talking about that, you know.
In typical Dan Matsumoto fashion.
Dan Matsumoto, you know, he just never really shows any real kind of emotion, but that's what his team needs in the second half. They're going to have to get upset when they don't succeed. They're just going to have to really get up a little closer on the pass coverage, and I think rushing the passer is out of the question because they got the 3-step drop and the 2-step drop and the 1-step drop, and Manly's put in 6-7 yards. They went right down the field on that one drive. They can't sit back there.
Yeah,
they have to make a decision whether they're going to go for him or cover him, one or the other.
That's
Don't
right.
try to do both.
Because you're putting your defensive secondary at risk if you're going to try to send extra guys to try to get to Manly. But you're right, the emotion was there in that second half for Waianae coming off of that long Leilehua drive. They definitely had the fire to respond.
Yeah, they got upset. They kind of came fighting back there, which is good. That's what you want to see.
Let's send it back down to Dave Vinton. Dave.
Hey, Kanoa, as I was railing against you about my Chili's performance, I forgot to give you the injury update on Brad Ialualo. Coming out of the halftime break, no problem. He was walking out with no limp, and he is cleared, and he is good to go on defense for the Mules. Up to you.
Thanks a lot, Dave. That's good news definitely for Mule fans out there. Here is the opening kick of the third quarter. It's going to bounce off one of the Mules' up men, and it's up for grabs. Ball still loose, and Waianae falls on top of it. What a break for the Seariders.
That's how it happens in the kicking game.
Yeah, that was foreshadowed. You said something in the first half saying there will be some more opportunities provided in the kicking game, whether it goes Leilehua's way or Waianae's way. This time, it went the way of the Seariders. They'll have it first and 10 from just outside the 20.
I tell you what, that was a gift.
DJ Awong, number 12, right there on your screen. 6 foot, 180-pound senior defensive back with the recovery. That thing was loose for a while there.
It's an angry football, wasn't it?
So opportunity pounding on the door here for Waianae. The give is to Jonathan Leitze. He has the only touchdown of the game so far for the Seariders, and he gets a short gain.
Now Pierre Rose is going to have to take off on another couple of those quarterback scrambles because they got to get to the outside. Running inside there on that Leilehua defense with those two linebackers there, Kalua Ellis and Nate Hall, is really some challenge.
So Naparella Rose under center. Another running play. This is Kikoa Nui coming to the outside. Inside the 10, looking for the end zone. He's in for 6. And just like that, following a recovery on the kickoff, a couple plays later, it is Danny Kikoa Nui bringing Waianae within a point of the state champs.
That was a 19-yard gain. You see the guard that came out of there, Aaron McCoy. He's the one that made that work. Number 66, he got out there, turned up field. You see him there? Good block. Nui just followed him all the way to the end zone. Kicking game, I tell you, will absolutely kill you in this game.
Well, that emotion was there.
Yep.
They got a break on that kickoff, no doubt, but that emotion is right there now for Waianae. Gaisen Amina on for the extra point, and it gets blocked. Brad Iaulualo, big number 94, able to turn that one back.
Oh, that's a big block too, boy. That 1 point, that's a big 1 point.
That is a very loaded void up there on the scoreboard. 14-13 remains the score, 11-10 left to go here in the third. So they get the touchdown, but you're right. Very noticeable 1 point difference. We'll see how that one comes into play down the stretch here.
Iaulualo, what a strong rusher, boy. 5'10", 220 pounds. He's a good one.
I guess Dave wasn't lying when he said he was feeling okay coming out of the halftime intermission.
Well, he just proved it.
So we'll do the kickoff thing all over again with Waianae getting set to boot it away.
He's thirsty too. 2 tackles, 1 sack, 1 PTA blocked. Good outing.
You notice he's also listed as a running back. He goes in there as a fullback on short yardage situations.
Punahou 14, Kamehameha 6 at halftime. And Roosevelt losing to Kailua 12-0 at half. And McKinley getting clobbered by Castle 40-0 at the half. And Pac-5 28-6, the final over Word of Life.
And another short kick. This time it is recovered by Leilehua's Charlie Tua'au, number 61, defensive lineman / offensive lineman.
Didn't fool around with it at that time. They just felt on it.
Waianae hoping that lightning would strike twice in the same quarter, but it didn't on that occasion. Leilehua with solid field position, ball at the 42. A 1 point game here between the battle of unbeatens. Long cadence. Here's Manley with time to throw. Heaves it up the sideline. Wide open is Avarillo Ramento. Caught. Now he's running. It is a foot race. He will win.
"58-yard strike." Ah, there's that school spirit.
You talk about a right back at you. That's Leilehua, that quick strike offense, striking again.
Perfectly thrown ball. Perfectly run route by Avarillo Ramento. Now with Dumlau on one side and Ramento on the other side, this is really a difficult offense to defend.
Unioka right down the middle, 21-13. Wasn't it a 1 point game just a moment ago?
That's high school football.
We got ourselves a heck of a ball game on our hands. 10:58 left to play in the third. Waianae back down a touchdown. The Waianae store and Nanakuli Super are proud supporters of Leeward Athletics. Check out their improved fresh fish selection at the Waianae store, complementing the ever-popular poke mixed with the ingredients you choose. The Waianae store and Nanakuli Super, serving the Waianae coast since 1949.
There's that school spirit, that personal pride. You gotta love your school.
And those Mules fans and students definitely do. Here's a ground ball kick that will find its way out of bounds, and that'll bring on a flag. After that quick strike by Leilehua, 58-yard pass, Andrew Manley to Chavez Avarillo Ramento. And you start thinking about it, maybe that concussion suffered by Edison Dumlau
on the kicking team. Receiving team will take the ball 25 yards from the previous spot. First down, Waianae.
So first down with favorable field position for Waianae, but that concussion suffered by Edison Dumlau, at least if you were to somehow find a silver lining in it, you could say that it allowed Chavez Avarillo Ramento to become more of a factor.
We've talked about that before. In football, that's serendipity, where somebody gets hurt, somebody else has to step up that you hadn't counted on, and that's how Ramento was discovered, because of the injury to Dumlau. Just an accident. no coaching genius, no luck, no nothing.
I mean, he was a guy who had a couple of number-producing ball games, but not to the effect that we have seen here in the last couple of weeks. Kekoanui running off tackle to the left side, and he gets tripped up near the first down marker.
Now they got that off-tackle play with the offside guard pulling. You see Aaron Makui, a 6 feet, 260-pound junior. Watch number 66 lead the play. He gets right through the hole. I can't tell you how difficult that is.
Some of the big fellas up front trying to establish that physical authority on the line of scrimmage. This is Kekoanui once again. Make that Ligse on the carry.
Playing with more intensity now for sure, both sides.
It should be said, Waianae, without the services of number 93, Leilehua Wilson. He is a 6 foot, 290-pound junior coach. He's a defensive lineman, but he also lines up in the backfield, known as the battering ram at the fullback spot for Waianae. He is not playing tonight because of a knee injury. Had 4 touchdown runs in that 34-0 win over Kapolei.
Here's Jonathan Ligse, 5 rushes, 54 yards.
So again, Waianae doing it without Leilehua Wilson tonight. But so far, that running game still finding a way to get established. Here's Jonathan Ligse. They have gone to him quite a bit tonight.
Yeah, he doesn't avoid people.
That is true. Take a look at this, right at the defender.
Good 10-yard gain. He's just not avoiding anybody, that's for sure.
Juke move? Who needs a juke move? Put your head down and go. That's Jonathan Ligse. And it has worked for him tonight. That moves the chains for Waianae, 1st and 10. They are now in Leilehua territory, ball at the 44. Here's Kekoanui. He dives into the pile. He'll get to the 40.
It's really tough to run against that interior of Leilehua. Sami, who's a 6'3", 240-pound senior, Sione Sami, really does a good job with Nate Hall and Kalua Ellis. Tui To'elau. Some good inside action there. And of course, the very dangerous Kaipo Kale lurking in the back.
2nd and 7, Kekoanui running to the far side. Being chased by Hall. Hall grabs for his shoulder pads, wasn't able to bring him down on the initial hit, but he got some help after another short gain by Kekoanui.
Quite a testimony to the quickness of Nate Hall. Chased that play from behind and caught up with the running back.
Nate Hall has some good dimensions, good frame, 6'4", 230 pounds. He's a senior.
Yeah, he's big too.
3rd and 5. Taking down the 5'10", 190-pound Kekoanui there, and there you saw the jump on the Leilehua side. That was Iaulualo.
It's a freebie.
Prior to the snap, encroachment, defense, 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
So the Seariders say thank you very much, and they'll get a fresh set.
You can see the excitement all over Matsumoto's face.
This is Ligse up the middle. We've seen this a couple of times already tonight, and he gets inside the 20. Another red zone visit here for the Seariders.
Looks like he's running on a railroad track, doesn't it? Look, watch this. This is just great blocking up front by Silva and Chong Tim and Makui. Good 16 yards, a quick 16 yards.
That was
good hole
huge,
there.
Yeah, huge gaping hole. Comma with the initial hit on the takedown. 1st and 10. Ball at the 17. It's Ligse up the middle again. Ligse crosses the goal line. Touchdown, Waianae.
Boy, there's some great blocking up front there, boy. Good. Will they go for 2?
That's the question. It has been a half, or more specifically, a 3rd quarter thus far of can you top this?
Well, we kind of figured it was going to be this kind of a game.
21-19. And I would imagine that Waianae will go for 2, and it does look like they will. You see Ligse having to stretch out on the sideline, putting in yeoman's work there on that drive. Damian De La Cruz lines up as the tailback in the offset eye. It'll be a fake handoff. Trying to keep it is Naparella Rose, and he gets tripped up. Garrison Garma coming up and making the play, coach. So the 2-point conversion fails, and it is still a 2-point ball game. Waianae able to forge quite the response to Leilehua's quick response, and it just continues to go back and forth here in the third.
Still anybody's game.
But now those extra points, that 2-point conversion, you start to think, how big will that play into things as we head down the stretch here in the second half. Garma now being stretched out on the Leilehua sideline. Take a look at the scoring drive here, coach. Ended with Ligse taking it in.
5 plays, 67 yards. Only took 3 minutes, 30 seconds. A 17-yard touchdown run by Jonathan Ligse. Some great blocking up front, boy, I tell you.
Ligse's second touchdown run of the game, and another botched up kick reception by Leilehua, picked up by Geisen Amina for Waianae. He cannot advance it, but Waianae has recovered another kick. Second of this quarter.
I tell you, you got to respect the kicking game.
This is getting crazy.
It cannot be advanced. First down, Waianae.
So again, you saw Geisen Amina come in and scoop it up cleanly. It looked like Ellard Travis, number 43 for Leilehua, was the player having trouble fielding that. Let's take another look. But Amina, the guy who kicked it, by the way. That was number 6, Chevis Abarilla Ramento. I guess the only question is he was down when he tried to receive it. The official ruling that he never really got control of it. Amina comes in, picks it up, but you can't advance it. Yeah, and you're seeing the replay, which makes it quite obvious. Chevis Abarilla Ramento never had it. Again, also over there was, excuse me, Coach Ellard Travis, but he couldn't pick it up either.
Great. Old Dan Matsumoto looks more like a philosopher than he does a football coach, doesn't he?
But he's thinking. He doesn't celebrate the moment. He's thinking 1, 2, 3 steps ahead now.
Yeah, they're having a conference here. Why can't you advance the? Why can't you advance the kick?
I think that's a rule in high school football, at least here in Hawaii. That might be the discussion here. We have seen instances before of a recovered.
Can you pick up a fumble and run with it?
I mean,
can you pick up a fumble and run with it?
I think depending on the circumstances, you can.
The only place the ball is dead on the kickoff is when you kick it in the end zone and it goes past the goal line, it's automatically dead in high school football.
That might be the topic of discussion right there. The initial ruling, according to Brian Alos, was that you cannot advance the ball. Let's listen in.
After discussion, there was an inadvertent whistle on the kick. We'll replay the kickoff.
Whoa.
Oh, man.
Whoa.
Oh.
And that changes everything. And the Waianae fans and Dan Matsumoto stunned right now. An inadvertent whistle takes away the recovery for Waianae, and now they'll have to re-kick it? You know, Brian Alos, we joke about him resembling Ed Hockley because of the girth, the build, but this is a little too close to what transpired in the NFL with Ed Hockley's call, the inadvertent whistle. in that Broncos-Chargers finish that allowed Denver to keep the ball, eventually winning that game. This was a moment that could have turned this game around for Waianae. They're going to have to re-kick it. And now you have to wonder about the psyche of the Searider players, because you go from that moment of excitement and elation of here we are, down 2 points. We recover the kickoff, second time in this quarter, knocking on the door already. We got to do the kick over.
Well, if they just follow the student body there, student body is fired up. That's what they got to do.
That's what they got to do.
Can't cry over spilled milk.
You got to let it roll off the back. That's right. But a crazy turn of events and an incredible ruling by this officiating crew. Rico Newman and Kaipokea back to receive. This one will be another short roller. Leilehua hangs on to it. Edison Dumlau, the sure-handed one for the Mules. And Leilehua receiving the break of the night right there. That was big. So the Mules offense takes the field. 1st and 10, ball at the 40. Look at the 39 to be more accurate. And Manley out of the gun, trips to the far side. Leilehua will try to get to work, having dodged a bullet. It's going to be a draw play. And it is not going to go anywhere. It was given to number 45, Jeremy Sugwitan, 5'8", 180-pound junior running back. And they came swarming.
Loss of 3. It's a little shotgun draw.
Saw a whole bunch of Waianae guys getting over there. Faliunga was actually the first to touch him. Donovan Tuisano helping to finish off the play. 2nd and 13. Now you test the character of this Waianae defense, no doubt. They looked good on that first sequence. Man in motion for Leilehua is Rico Numa. Here's Manley. Digs in, fires, complete to Dumlau at the 50-yard line. And that'll be enough for a first down. Leilehua fans happy to see number 9 back in uniform. Leilehua will look to march here. There you see Dumlau's night.
4 receptions for 40 yards. Very consistent.
Getting right back into it.
10 yards a catch.
There you see the formation for the Mules again out of the gun. Manley with time fires to a wide open Newman, but he underthrows him, incomplete. And that'll bring up 2nd and 10. Leilehua head coached by Nolan Tokuda, 5th season on top of the program, an IAEA graduate in 1990. His defensive coordinator is Mark Kurisu. They have Red West wins over Mililani, Kapolei, and Pearl City. While on the other side, Waianae defeating Kapolei, Pearl City, and Nanakuli thus far in division play. Manley hit as he throws. It is complete. Complete to Reyes. Good sidestep maneuver. Tries to spin away. Now he'll be gang tackled as he crosses the 40. But Manley sticking in there, taking a hit, and still delivering the completion.
13-yard completion. Makes it look easy, doesn't he?
He stands in there. And at his size, it gives him perhaps a little more courage to do so. But DJ Owong came in and made his presence very felt.
He's big enough to take a hit like that and still get the ball off.
And get up immediately after.
15 of 20 for 161 yards and 1 touchdown. I mean, that's a Manly performance.
Ball at the 38, another first down. This will be a draw play. Rico Newman Able to get away from the first wave of defenders, and then he takes a pop at the end of that one. Looked like Shivis Paris may have delivered the shiver.
Shivis Paris has put on some heavy hits tonight. 5'11", 195 pounder. He's a heavy hitter. Newman is just so elusive and never stop moving these legs.
So 2nd and 5. The Mules methodically moving down the field here. Newman in motion. He'll get the ball. Tries a reverse field and nothing doing. It got closed out on him quickly. Shivis Paris again in on the play.
Leilehua 21-6 over Nanakuli in the 3rd quarter. Good game. Well, this game is kind of a little bit of everything we expected.
And didn't expect. When you think about some of the plays that we've seen, some of the rulings, obviously.
Well, that was educational. We learned some new rulings tonight.
We must keep that in mind for the future. Big handoff, Manley. They're going to run a screen incomplete. Tried to get it to Austin Schmidt, the 5'9", 180-pound sophomore.
When they start connecting the ball to that fullback out of the backfield like that, you notice there is nobody there to cover him except that linebacker that has to run all the way across the field to get there.
So 4th and 6 here for Leilehua, and they have the ball on the 33-yard line, so they are going for it, Coach.
No reason not to.
Manley rolling. Now digs in. Fires a bullet. Completes it to his man down to the 20. That's Edison Dumlau.
That's almost an automatic completion for them, the way they're being defended. The only way to defend a receiver like that is give them one way to go, outside. You let them come back to the inside like that, they'll complete that every time.
How many times have they gone through that? How many times has Leilehua made a play on 3rd or 4th down this season?
Dimlau is still going 5 for 52 yards, 10 yards a carry, 10 yards a catch.
Ball at the 20. We'll call it a red zone visit here. Here's Rico Newman. He runs into the mass of white jerseys for a gain of 1.
Manley now 16 of 21 attempts completed for 173 yards.
Also has a touchdown pass to his credit. Going 58 yards to Chevis Abarilla-Ramento. And now he fires 2. Guess who? Abarilla-Ramento, right on cue. He gets to the 11, and that looks like it'll be enough for another 1st down. Well, this would be a dramatic swing, no doubt, considering the ruling of the inadvertent whistle when Waianae recovered their own kickoff. Leilehua then getting a chance to receive the kick again. They hang on to it, and now they're driving the field here. 1st and 10 from just outside the 10.
Football, like life, one of the hard things is you got to play by the rules.
Yep.
And if the rules don't go your way, you just got to grin and bear it and keep going.
Got to deal with adversity. This is Newman. And Newman goes nowhere that time.
They done a good job of shaking it off. They could be pouting there, you know, and feeling sorry for themselves, but they're fighting back.
Football, like life, isn't always fair.
Not pretty either.
Ain't that the truth? Under 2 minutes to go here in the 3rd. They're going to still call this 2nd and 10. High formation behind Manley. C.J. Bailey is the tailback. Manley under pressure, fires off his back foot, nearly picked off. Went through the hands of Donovan Tuisano. Well, they got to him that time, Coach.
Yeah, that's one of the few. The second time they got to him.
Shivis Paris, he's been busy here on this drive. Forcing Manley off the back foot to throw it. Again, nearly intercepted. We've seen some long drives by Leilehua. Manley fires over the middle, incomplete off of Matt Reyes. So that'll bring up 4th and 10 at the 10.
This series has gone 6 minutes, 4 seconds now. Covered 56 yards in 11 plays.
Second time they've gone over 6 minutes on a single drive.
Boy, eating it up, boy. That ball was very catchable, too.
There was Shivas Paris, number 44, again in the middle of the action. So now Kunioka going for the field goal. This would be pretty big. It would put Leilehua up by 5. The snap and the kick, but a whistle and a flag come out as that one sails through the uprights.
Right to the snap, false start on the kicking team, 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
And they'll have to back it up a bit.
He still can kick it from there.
He's got a leg.
This kid can kick. Kunioka is the premier field goal kicker.
5'5", 150-pound junior, number 83 right there. So this is going to be from 31 yards out. And again, it would put Leilehua up 5 outside of a single field goal. And another flag coming out.
Prior to the snap, false start on the kicking team, 5-yard penalty. It remains 4th down.
Well, they are really going to test the leg here of Kunioka. He thought it was going to be a relative chip shot. Now he's kicking it from 36 yards out.
He still can make that. We've seen him make on him from 40, 45 yards during practice.
And another false start for the Mules.
Prior to the snap, false start on the kicking team, 5-yard penalty. It remains 4th down.
Well, all of a sudden, Kunioka going from like Jason Elam range here as they are going to spot this one. Way back at the 25, and in fact, that will prompt Leilehua to at least show as though they're going to go for it here on 4th and long, and they do bring the offense out.
7 penalties now for Leilehua, 35 yards.
So on 4th and 25, Leilehua now going for it as opposed to having Kunioka try the long field goal attempt. Manley will throw. It'll be incomplete. A lot of contact there at the point of reception. Marcus Brakefield, the intended receiver for Leilehua, but Waianae's defense holds thanks to some penalties on the would-be field goal attempt. They are able to fend off the Mules following that reversal on the kickoff recovery.
Good pass defense that time. Good rush, good pass defense.
That was a pretty play. Dylan Kadirao, number 22. We've seen him do some great things in that defensive secondary. There's Manley's reaction to it, almost. So Waianae, with the exception of field position, Coach, really no harm done from the inadvertent whistle rule. No harm done, at least on the scoreboard. So the Seariders take over on their own 25. Handoff goes up the middle. Here's Ligse, keeps those legs pumping, and he goes forward for about 3. I mean, even the field goal attempts have been full of adventure and excitement.
Well, you know, we knew it was going to be that kind of night, right? I mean, this is Leilehua Waianae, you know. Keiko Anui, 122 yards. Tonight he got 58, so they've been keeping a lid on Keiko Anui.
This is Keiko Anui right here. And he gets thrown into the spin cycle, a flag coming out on the play, finally brought down after a hard-fought gain of 2. Yeah, this is turning into a rivalry, though. You're right. You can get these two teams on the field, and you're going to see hard-nosed football, straight up.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Another conversation.
Oh, my goodness.
We've seen this scene before.
I think I have to go to the restroom. I can't take another one of these surprises.
Let's listen in.
There's no penalty on the play.
And there's Coach Matsumoto. Boy, is he upset about that.
Second down and 5 here coming up for Waianae. You see under 30 seconds now to play in this third period. Waianae, the winners of 3 Prep Bowl championships back in the day, 73, 77, and 78. Handoff. This is Kekoa Nui. And did the ball pop out at the end of the play? No, it did not. He held on to it. But he does get enough for a first down, I believe, with 7.5 seconds left in the third.
That was a 19-yard gain.
Yes, he definitely got enough for a first down there.
It still could end up being a very exciting game in the fourth quarter, no matter what side you're cheering for. You know?
This is what OIA Red Division football is all about right here. 21-19 Leilehua on homecoming, on its home field, and Waianae not going away. In fact, with the possession and an opportunity to take the lead. It's getting intense out there. According to NFHS rules, this is the trivia question brought to you by Zippies. What is the official score of a game not played due to a forfeit? How does it go into the books? What's the final score? A, 1-0, B, 2-0, or C, 6-0? Vote using your digital remote, and we'll bring you the result a little bit later on in the cast. We're going to take a break. They'll swap ends. Waianae will have a first down when we return to start the fourth period, down 2.
When it comes to choosing a career, consider the laborers and union contractors. When you think of the laborers, think construction, golf course maintenance, landscaping, environmental services, and much more. With a time-honored practice of apprenticeship, you'll be trained in starting a dynamic
sharing with us the first 20 years of OC16 sports.
Enhanced video transmission made possible by NTT.
Welcome back to Hugh Yoshida Stadium on the campus of Leilehua High School. Homecoming night for the Mules, but it is Waianae driving right now. Ball at the 39-yard line. 1st and 10 as we get started here on the home stretch, the fourth quarter. Danny Kekoa Nui puts his head down, runs into the mosh pit of green jerseys, and gets upended after a short gain. We have seen some incredible things here tonight. Incredible plays, incredible rulings by the officiating crew.
That young man there has played a good game tonight, Kalua Ellis. Boy, he's been in on about 75% of the tackles for Leilehua.
Yeah, that seems to be the norm for number 44 in green, that's for sure. Week in and week out, Kalua Ellis always leaving a heavy stamp on every game he plays. 2nd and 6. And a little bit of confusion on the Waianae side of the ball. They're going to signal for a timeout. That's their first. Now either side with 2 timeouts remaining. Let's take a look at the stats through 3.
Well, you see Leilehua and Waianae, they're coming closer now with first downs. Rushing yards, Waianae has 132, 42 for Leilehua. Passing yards, 173 for Leilehua and only 6. But total yardage, it kind of watches out about evening penalties. Leilehua heavily penalty, 7 for 35. Waianae only 1 for 10. Turnovers 1 apiece. Time of possession. Leilehua has had the ball 4 minutes more than Waianae. Waianae has the edge in contusions.
If only contusions counted as points, we'd be tied.
Yeah.
Take a look at how this third quarter started. As Waianae was able to recover the opening kick. It was a wild one. The ball didn't want to behave. Seariders recovered. It would be Danny Kekoa Nui taking it into the end zone. A blocked extra point, though, left it at 14-13 Leilehua. And then when the offense took the field, first play from scrimmage, it was a deep one. 58 yards. Andrew Manley to Chavez Abarilla Ramento. 21-13 Leilehua. Jonathan Ligsay able to find pay dirt. Waianae went for 2, but that conversion failed, so they still trailed 21-19. As we return to live action, that was Ligsay once again on the carry. He has 2 touchdowns to his credit tonight.
He's done well. Some good blocking up front there, Waianae. Offensive linemen don't get much credit, but I tell you what, if they don't block, there's no running. There's no place to go.
3rd and 4. Pretty big play here. Handoff to Koanui. Trying to drive that pile forward, and he does so pretty successfully. Is it enough for a first down? It'll be awfully close. You know, Waianae just staying within itself and continuing to get positive yardage and maybe even starting to wear this Leilehua front down just a tad. It's going to be enough for a first down, so they'll move the chain.
Boy, that was a big first down right there. The thing that's good about this, no matter what happens, they got field position.
Ball at the 49, just on the Waianae side of midfield. That's a handoff to Ligsay, and he is brought down immediately. Able to get some penetration on the play was Frazier Taua, as well as Ali'i Tui Toilau.
Taua, big kid, 6'2", 180-pound junior. He's going to be a great one.
We go back to the highlights as you see Ligsay running in the touchdown. The ensuing kick also wobbling about. It was picked up by Gaisen Amina, but you could kind of hear the whistle in the background before he scooped up the fumble. The ruling by the officiating crew was that the inadvertent whistle forced a re-kick, and so Leilehua hung on, but the Waianae defense showing a lot of grit, a lot of character, I think, on that possession. They were able to fend off Leilehua, of course, helped along by some, well, in fact, 3 straight false start penalties as Leilehua was looking to attempt a field goal. That was 4th and 25, falling incomplete.
They all deserve an extra scoop of rice tonight for that.
2nd and 10. Aparella Rose completing the pass. Downfield inside the 35, Kaylin Sandoval, 5'6", 120-pound receiver. He's a junior. And that's a completion, a rare one for Waianae here tonight.
That's their first completion. I think Papa Jack over here is doing the little tabulations.
I think you're right.
18-yard strike. 3 receptions, 58 yards in the season.
Yeah, definitely not tonight. Not if that was the first reception. I believe it was. 1st and 10. This is going to be another handoff. And this time it won't go for much. Danny Kikoanui on the carry.
Well, if they could get in field goal range and could come away with something on the board, either 3 or 6.
Well, a field goal puts them ahead. Here you see the clock situation. This one is coming down to it. Down to the wire. Leilehua has not lost in 11 straight games going back to last year. Waianae trying to change that trend. 2nd down. Handoff up the middle. This is Kekoanui, and he finds the seams, zigzagging all the way to the 22.
This is getting interesting. Take a look at it. Good blocking up front.
Tackle finally made by Hoku Kama. That will move the chains once more, coach. 1st and 10, ball at the 22. And they continue to use a lot of this 4th quarter clock.
That's what they want to do.
Handoff. This is a new ball carrier. It will go for a gain of 4, maybe 5. Damian Dela Cruz, 5'6", 140-pound junior with the gleaming white jersey.
That looked really nice. See the 2 guards pulling, number 66 and 62. Really well done.
Tui Toilau finally putting a stop to that.
You know, Waianae has always been known, the offensive linemen, their guards can pull as good or better than anybody else in the league because they turn up field. They get running north-south. All you got to do is follow them, get behind them, and let the draft pull you through.
So much tradition on this Waianae side.
Yep.
Handoff up the gut. This is Kekoa Nui putting his head down, getting to the 15. The first down marker is at the 11. We have a couple of scores from elsewhere to report.
Mililani now 21-6 over Nanakuli in the third quarter. And Punoho Kamehameha. Punoho is stretching it out now in third quarter. 21-6 over Kamehameha.
Scoring 21 straight points after going down 6-0. We mentioned Waianae's tradition. This is a team that went to the Prep Bowl 14 times in 26 years, winning 3 times, finishing in a tie actually in 1980 with Iolani 7-7. Yet to go to a state championship game though. Handoff, Kekoa Nui finding a hole. Hurdles the defender, still on his feet, diving for the end zone. He's in for 6. What a run, Danny Kekoa Nui.
Once again, great blocking up front by Daniel Boa and Chantim Silva, Makui and Naoma. Watch the blocking up front, boy, good job.
They just cleared that path, and Kekoa Nui able to do the rest. Whatever tackle needed to be broken, he broke it.
You see number 66 again, Aaron Makui, just leading him all the way through.
And Waianae going for 2, coach, up 25-21. Handoff, Kekoa Nui. Does he get in? Yes. 27-21 Seariders with 6 minutes left to play in the 4th. And the Mules offense, led by Andrew Manley, will once again be asked to perform a 4th quarter comeback. We'll be back.
Spending quality family time together.
Maxletic Sports, a leader in the protection of our local athletes on the field. Call 597-8660 and speak to one of their safety specialists about the newest and most innovative sports equipment in the game. Maxletic Sports, your one-stop shop for all your sporting goods needs. Another ground ball type kickoff here for Waianae after taking the lead. Rico Newman looking for a hole, he finds one. Finally brought down from behind at the 35. That's where Leilehua will get started. Here's the scenario. 5:51 left to play in the 4th. The Mules down 27-21.
Take a look at the scoring drive. 13 plays, went 75 yards, took 6 minutes. 15 touch run by Danny Kekoa Nui. Right there. Beautiful.
Leilehua will have to go 65 yards and get an extra point to win this game, or at least take the lead here with still 5:51 left to play. An 11-game win streak on the line. Andrew Manley in the empty set, 5 receiver formation. Under pressure, fires to the near side, through the hands of Edison Dumlau. And it's incomplete. That was Dylan Kadirao on the coverage, but that was Dumlau unable to haul it in.
See Andrew Manley in the OIA season, he's quite accurate.
We saw it so many times last year in that magical run for Leilehua, those late 4th quarter comebacks. It happened in the state championship game against St. Louis. It happened in the OIA playoffs against Mililani.
No room for error now. An interception, a fumble would make it really tough.
Manley was a sophomore then. He's a junior now. Can he do it again? Running. He's going to try to run for yardage and gets to the sideline, out of bounds at the 40. That's going to bring up 3rd down. Junior Patea chased him into the bench area.
His wheels are improving, though. Manley can scramble when he has to.
Still looking to throw the ball until the very last moment. It's going to be 3rd and 5.
This is exciting.
Yes, we got ourselves a good one. Battle of unbeaten, something will give tonight. That pass incomplete. C.J. Bailey, the intended target. And Manley threw it behind him, 4th and 5.
He's missed his last 4 passes now. This one not entirely his fault, thrown a little bit behind in Bailey's defense.
And Andrew Manley taking the offense back out on the field, coach, on 4th and 5 at their own 40. Leilehua rolling the dice. See if perhaps they're just out there to see if they can get Waianae offside. They'll snap it. They'll run a play. 4th and 5. Manley under pressure. Gets away. Throws on the run. Incomplete. Had Dumlau back there, but also Geisen Amina, number 4 in white, doing whatever he could to disrupt things. A turnover on downs at the Leilehua 40, Coach.
Good pass rush that time, boy. A real fine pass rush. You got to give Manley credit, though. He got away from the pass rush. 3 guys after him.
And that one actually batted away by Amina. He did get a piece of that one.
Yep. Good defensive play by Amina.
That's a standout play right there.
5'9", 145-pound junior.
They started to get some pressure on Manley in this half, Coach.
Yep.
So now Waianae's offense taking the field. They have an opportunity with 5:25 to all but put this thing away if they can find the end zone again. Handoff, Kekoa Nui. And he'll drive forward for 4. This defense has been out there quite a bit in this second half.
You just keep your eyes on the offensive guards from Waianae when they pull. 115 yards now, Kekoa Nui. We're just going to try to grind it out now and take as much time as you can.
Waianae Seariders have the reigning state champs on the ropes. There's still a lot of football to be played here in this 4th quarter.
This is going to take a lot of guts on Waianae's part.
And we have a false start. Going to go against the Seariders. You're right.
Prior to the snap, false start. On the offense, 5-yard penalty. It remains 2nd down.
No room for error here now.
You're right. If anything, Leilehua has shown that they die hard. Waianae will have to show a lot to be able to finish the deal here. All right, trivia question answer brought to you by Zippies. According to National Federation of High Schools rules, what is the official score of a game not played due to a forfeit? 38% answered C, 6-0. The correct answer is A, 1-0. 33% of you got that right. 2nd and 11 here for the Seariders. This is Ligse. And he's going to drag a defender or 2 along for a short ride of about 4. The guts it will take for Waianae to try to finish this off. The guts it will take for Leilehua to try to turn it around here in the last 4 minutes or so.
No, well, this is really going to take a lot of courage on the part of Waianae because they're a little tired. And the pressure is on.
3rd and 7. The Leilehua fans on homecoming night chanting defense. The Waianae fans on the other side trying to make as much noise as possible. Handoff, Kekoa Nui, the workhorse. And he gets a gain of about 4. It's going to bring up 4th and 2. Or 3, somewhere there in about. Here's a look at Charlie Tua'au. He's going to make his way back to the sideline. 2 timeouts remaining for both teams here. The clock continues to tick, closing in on 3 minutes. This is an atmosphere, isn't it?
This is an exciting homecoming game for Leilehua.
4th down. A make-or-break type play. A flag coming out. What do we have here? Let's see. The flag came out perhaps for a delay of game, but Waianae may have gotten a timeout call in.
There's no penalty for delay of game. We have a timeout for Waianae.
And that's what happened. Seariders now with 1 remaining, up 27-21. 2:49 left to play. And a much more congenial discussion there between Matsumoto and the officials.
He's a real gentleman. I give him credit. Can you imagine the pressure down there on the players right now? I mean, this is character building to the max.
And having to overcome some obvious adversity, some unfair adversity in this second half.
Well, there is a thing in athletics known as justice.
Yeah.
Athletic justice.
Interesting point. There you see some scores from around the way. Castle.
40-0 over McKinley.
That's in the 4th quarter.
see Newman and Bailey both have 45 yards. Liksei and Keokoa got 221 yards rushing.
Fourth and 2. A make-or-break type of game. A make-or-break type of play. And this one given to Kekoa Nui. Where will they spot this? It is awful close. The Waianae players signaling that it should be a first down. The officials trying to eyeball it. They're going to measure this, Coach.
Boy, it's a game of inches right now. I mean, he's right on the line. All depends where they spot it.
This is huge. And it's enough for a first down. By that much. That wasn't a Manapua short, that was a Manapua enough.
There's that school spirit, personal pride, boy. I tell you what, they came a long way to see this. 2 minutes, 42 seconds and counting. 39, 38.
Leilehua still with 2 timeouts remaining, but Waianae will try to milk as much time as possible off this clock. Kekoa Nui running off tackle to the far side, and he gets turned back. And a flag coming out at the end of that play. We'll see what this one is about. There was a little bit of extra activity towards the end of that one. Let's listen in to the call.
After the play, personal foul on the offense, 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. It's second down.
And that is the worst timed personal foul penalty, perhaps in Sea Rider history. 2:24 left to play.
Got to keep their composure here.
You know, last week against Nanakuli, Coach, Sea Riders were penalized 18 times for 152 yards.
Well, that was one of the keys that they talked to in the game. They said keep the flags off the field.
Timeout taken by Leilehua. So 1 timeout remaining on each side. 2:21 left to play. Well, opportunity presenting itself to Waianae to pull off something that no other team has been able to pull off for 11 games now. And that's defeat Leilehua. But that penalty comes at an awfully bad time. They just got the fortuitous measurement for the first down. Now they're backed up. All right, next week, a lot of action here on OC16. Hawaii Winter Baseball on Sunday at 1, the Sharks versus the Beach Boys. And then on Thursday, beginning at 5, we have girls volleyball, Marino Iolani, Word of Life Kamehameha. And then on Friday at 7:30, a battle of beasts in the East, Farrington versus Kahuku.
See, now you got to really love your school in order to paint yourself up like that. I got to tell you.
I like the guy who's the exclamation point. That's who I like. Because it wouldn't be the same if you didn't have the proper punctuation. There's a handoff to Ligsay, and he fumbles the football. Recovered by a lead, Tui Toilau. Garrison Garma, one of the guys who may have knocked that one loose. With 2:14 on the clock, the Mules get another shot at it. But there is a discussion here between the officials. Now they finally point in the direction of the Mules. Yeah, you saw Hokukama going low, Garma going high. One of them knocked it loose. But another long discussion.
The runner was ruled down, third down.
And a reversal on that call.
Little athletic justice. And you see how excited Coach Matsumoto is about that.
Well, if we look at this replay, it does not appear as though Jonathan Ligsay is down. Do 2 athletic injustices add up to an athletic justice?
One each. One each.
Yeah, that was Garma who knocked it loose. The officials ruling him down. 3rd and 10 here for the Sea Riders. Kekoa Nui up the middle. And and he's going to get a first down. And that gets Waianae that much closer to pulling off the victory.
What a game.
It is hard to describe what we have witnessed on several occasions here tonight.
But if you're watching tonight, you're lucky. You saw a great football game. Well coached, well played.
This one will be talked about for some time, you rest assured.
Oh, yes.
1st and 10. Seariders looking to close the deal. Still a timeout left for Leilehua. But they got bailed out on that reversal after the officials had initially pointed in the direction of Leilehua after the fumble recovery. Ruled down. Here's Kekoa Nui again. And a timeout is taken by the Mules, their final timeout.
It's not over yet.
Not officially. 1:10 left on the clock. 2nd down coming up for the Seariders. This boggles the mind.
This is high school football at its best. And we knew this was going to be this kind of a game. We said 40 points would be scored. You know, over 40 points have been scored.
But there will be a few plays in this game, a few rulings in this game that will be looked at, that will be reviewed, that will be talked about, that will be debated for quite some time, because Leilehua on the verge here with 1:10 left, on the verge of seeing its 11-game win streak come to a close. Their first loss potentially here now. Remember, 1:10 still remaining on the clock. A lot of things can happen. But their first loss of the season, and I think you can mouth out what Nolan Takuda was saying there, simply, wow.
It's not over till it's over. This kind of a football game, it's never over until the gun goes off, or the whistle is blown, or the referees do something to signal the game is over.
How about this Waianae Searider team, just to be in this position with 1:10 left.
Gutsy performance. And on Leilehua's home field, too.
And a fumble on the snap, picked up by Naparala Rose. I mean, boy, was that proof of just the fact that it is not over until it's over. That was awfully close to being a devastating...
And he got a couple yards.
Yeah, a devastating blunder, but Waianae hangs on to it. And Leilehua signaling a timeout. Now, according to the scoreboard, they were down to their last timeout prior to the last one called, but I guess somewhere along the way, it got miscounted. They called a timeout here and have been granted that timeout. So yes, 3rd and about 6. Waianae still needs to take a minute 2 off the clock.
Yes, indeed, because you saw that one touchdown that Manley made right after the half was over. Just one play. That's all it takes with this Leilehua offense. And that's exactly what they're plotting right now.
Nui and Jonathan Ligsay in the backfield for Waianae.
Well, the thing for Waianae to do now is to hang on to the football. They've dropped it the last 2 or 3 times.
A first down pretty much wins the game here for the Seariders. Kekoa Nui going for that first down. Gets to the 5. That should be enough. That will be enough. And the Seariders, if they can just hang on to the football, should be able to ride this one home to victory. Well, it was Jonathan Ligsay early, but when it was all on the line, Waianae looking the way of Danny Kekoa Nui, and he delivered. And now Waianae will simply take a knee. And a flag coming out.
Infraction, 12 players on the field. On the offense, 5 yards. Still first down.
It's not over yet.
It's not over yet. It's a penalty. Stops the clock. But they should be able to just take a knee and take this one on home. Clock getting started after the penalty. And let's see if Waianae even needs to snap the ball. They will, for good measure. Got to take a knee, son. And Keone Naparala Rose does. The final seconds ticking away, coach. And Waianae has taken down the reigning Division I state champs on Leilehua's homecoming night.
Unbelievable game.
27-21 the final. And we saw a bit of everything tonight. From magnificent plays to big hits to athletic injustices abound. But there is your final, 27-21. The Seariders over the Mules. And boy, did Waianae put on a show tonight, and boy, did they deliver a statement to the rest of the prep football state.
You know, they played a very disciplined game, too. You know, they just hung in there. They were very courageous.
A couple dicey penalties down the stretch, but other than that, a fairly clean game for Waianae.
They had every reason to get upset and lose their cool, but they didn't. You want to see some real class here. Watch Leilehua, how they handle this. You know, they'll get together and do their little prayer thing, and they'll be happy.
Well, it's a feeling they haven't felt in a while, but like all streaks, they eventually come to an end. And after 11 straight wins going back to last year, the Mules coming up short on the scoreboard. Waianae remains unbeaten in the OIA Red West. There's your final score, Waianae 27, Leilehua 21, and the Seariders improved to 4-2 overall on the year. Coach, they are now 4-0 in the OIA Red West. Kano'alehi along with the coach Larry Price, and we thought that this had the makings of being a good one, of being a thrilling game. It was that and more, because it wasn't without its controversy, its drama either.
That's why they call it high school football.
It was fun, though, definitely to watch. We're going to get into some of these post-game awards here. First off, like we always like to do, we're going to bring you the play of the game. And the play of the game is the first kickoff that was recovered by Waianae, and the football bouncing all over the place. It was a dancing hot potato football that was to start the third period. Recovered by Waianae, led to a score. They ended up cutting the lead to 14-13 at that point, and then all heck broke loose from then on to the end of this game.
Yes, indeed.
27-21, the final score. Take a look now at the impact player of the game for the Mules. For the first time in a while, coming up short in the scoreboard, but it's got to be Rico Newman again. He did just about everything he could for the Leilehua cause, including the opening score, 55-yard punt return for touchdown.
He's definitely their spark plug. No question.
Also ran in another short yardage touchdown just for good measure. But again, it is Waianae coming out with the victory tonight, 27-21. So let's take a look at the impact player for the Seariders. And this one could have gone actually a number of ways, because you had two very effective players out of that backfield for Waianae, and Danny Kekoanui and Jonathan Ligsay. But Ligsay really set the tone, I think, early on. When Waianae needed a response, they went to him, and you see the final numbers.
He was just running over people. Not trying to avoid anybody, nothing fancy, just sheer power.
Yeah, he kind of set him up. Kekoanui was able to come in the second half and knock him down. But it was Jonathan Ligsay, I think, who really set the tone for Waianae and gave them an idea that we can hang with the defending state champs and we can actually get back into this game, which they eventually did. They eventually won.
If anybody didn't know who he was before, they know who Jonathan Ligsay is now.
Yeah, everybody looking the way of Waianae now. This team is for real. Let's send it down to the field.
Thanks, Kanoa. I am here with Jonathan Ligsay. Congratulations. You had 14 rushes for 119 yards, and you beat the undefeated Leilehua. They had 11 wins straight from last year. How are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling pretty good. I was glad we got to beat them, because they beat us like 2 times last year. First game 8-0, then the next game 12-3. And I was looking for this game for a whole year, but I couldn't do it on my O-line, you know what I mean? They blocked for me all the way. I made some mistakes here and there, but I could have did better. Yeah.
Now, we were just talking, you're a little bit overwhelmed about being here with me right now, kind of getting this trophy. Why is that?
Oh, I thought Danny would take home, because, you know, Danny was making better runs than me. I thought like, he was doing pretty good, and I was making some good blocks for him and stuff. So, yeah.
Well, like you said, it's definitely a team effort, and you guys did an amazing job tonight very impressive performance by all of the Sea Riders. So congratulations, enjoy this victory, and we look forward to seeing you guys again very soon. Okay, you take care, you have a good night.
Okay, Mom.
Back to you, Kanoa.
You know, if we could, we would split that trophy in half because Danny Kekoanui did have a heck of a ball game. 15 rushes for 135 yards and a touchdown. But again, if we had to choose, we'll go with Jonathan Ligsay this time, simply because he was the one that, again, got it started offensively for Waianae, and again, running behind an O-line that was just awesome.
Could have given it to the offensive line.
We could have. We need to bring multiple trophies next time, see if we can pass them out, because it was truly a team effort for this Waianae Sea Rider squad. And look at the amount of points they are scoring this year. Again, 27 tonight. This is not the Waianae team that we saw last year that would be able to pull out very low-scoring contests, low-scoring victories. This is a Waianae team that can put some points on the board. All right, time for your favorite part of the game, Coach. The Katouche of the game.
You always got Katouches when Waianae is playing. Check this first one here.
That's number 92 for Waianae, Wade Keli'i Kipi.
Keli'i Kipi is going to be a great football player, Division I level. Somebody's licking their chops right now. When you can go down the line of scrimmage like that and deliver a blow like that on a guy like Newman.
Yeah.
That's a Katouche.
Rico Newman is used to getting loose. Didn't get loose on that occasion. Wade Keli'i Kipi made sure about that. Once again, the final score, 27-21. We really thank you for joining us here on OC 16. We told you it was going to be good, and we have more quality sports coming your way here in the oncoming week. First off, on Sunday, Hawaii Winter Baseball, the opening weekend. Sharks versus the Beach Boys from West Murakami Stadium. That is Sunday at 1 p.m. right here on OC 16. We have ILH Girls Volleyball coming your way on Thursday, starting at 5. Iolani versus Marino, followed by Word of Life and Kamehameha. And then next week, we go from a great matchup in the OIA Red West to a great matchup in the OIA Red East. Farrington versus Kahuku, live from Kahuku, starting next Friday at 7:30. That will do it for us. For Jen Boniza, Dave Vinton, and the coach, Larry Price, and on behalf of the rest of the OC16 crew, the hardest working crew in the biz, Waianae improves to 4-0 in the OIA Red West. Leilehua falls to 3-1, and the Sea Riders spoiling the homecoming celebration for Leilehua. 27-21 the final. I'm Kanoa Leahy. See you next week. Aloha.
This OC16 sports presentation has been brought to you by Zippy's and